Hi, my name's Tim Ritchie, and I'm a VP of Sales and Chief Revenue Officer. I've been doing this for the last 22 years, and I advise a number of young companies, and I find myself answering the same questions over and over and providing the same advice and trying to describe my process. So, one of the things I wanted to do is try to capture that so that I can share it more broadly, and that's what this is about is just sharing the process that I've used for scaling companies, large and small, young and more mature. So I hope you get a lot out of this, and I look forward to your feedback. So overall, the process is it's pretty clear, concise five-step process that begins with first establishing the quality and quantity of information that a company has about itself. And then once that's established, increasing the company's profile, that will begin to generate leads to websites and blogs and social. At that point, we'll use those things to increase the company's credibility, to make prospects comfortable from buying from that company. And then we'll be implementing some systems to help capture engagements with prospects and ultimately all the way through account management and lifecycle management of existing customers. Um, those systems aren't going to be anything without consistent processes on the commercial side of the business, both marketing and sales, that smooths the handoff between marketing and sales, and also ensures that the information that's going into CRM systems is not garbage and the sales team is efficient. And then speaking of the sales team, we want to make sure that we're developing, hiring a commercial team that contributes overall to the company's culture and is very focused on their customers' well-being. So let's dig into this thing and get a little bit more information, starting with increasing the company's profile. The first step really begins before this, and that is you need to make sure before you begin to raise the company's profile that the sales materials are in a good place. So you want the website to be solid. You want one sheets and white papers and maybe even explainer videos that are quality. So somebody that comes to the website or runs into your brand is comfortable. You feel like you're a professional brand. But once you've done that, it's time to raise the company's profile. The best ways to do that are to invest heavily in search engine optimization on your quality website, and extend that if you have the budget to do it with digital marketing. You'll also want to get the word out about you and your company and other leaders in your company, if you have them, through webinars, speaking engagements. Ensure that the company's social networks like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and the company's blogs are all active, that there's good content available on each of those channels. Now that you've established a profile and you've made people aware of the business, you're going to be having leads flowing into the top of your funnel. But those folks aren't going to convert unless you can make them comfortable that you are in fact experts and can help solve their problems. So there's some specific ways that you can do that. My favorite and I think the most effective way is to develop a content marketing program. That is a program of value-added content written by you and your leadership, and you can even outsource this if you need to, if you're underwater or don't feel like you're a good author. But have value-added content on your website, on your social, on your blogs, things that that speak specifically to your narrow prospect set and helps them become educated to make good decisions, that gives them things like checklists and things to think about and problems to avoid, good tips for whatever your solution might be. The other thing you want to do is to begin to associate your company with others that are well known in the space. It could be publishers, it could be competitors, it could be partners, but in most instances, there are some market leaders in the space, and you want to begin to associate your company with them. Their leadership will imbue onto your brand. You can do this by publishing in those publications. Become a thought leader in those publications. Do it for free. Pay for it if you must. Use industry experts on your webinars. Make yourself available to speak on others' webinars. So, do everything you can to associate yourself with established brands and well-known, well-represented brands in the space. Okay, so you've generated leads. You're beginning to make your prospects comfortable that you're a thought leader and a leader in the space. So now they're beginning to be comfortable. None of that's going to come to fruition unless you're able to actually identify your prospects, capture their engagement so that you can target or retarget them. And this comes down to commercial systems. So my favorites are HubSpot or Zoho One as a marketing platform and as a sales CRM platform. Both of those platforms also allow you to send outbound emails that could be used for things like newsletters or prospecting. But HubSpot and Zoho One they're relatively cost effective. They're both pretty intuitive and allow you to capture all of your customers' engagements, which is really important because you're going to want to rank your prospects from the most likely to buy to the least likely to buy, and you're going to want to focus your energy on those that are most likely to buy. Those will be identified by the people that are engaging with your content, that are downloading your white papers, that come back to your website repeatedly. Without these systems, you aren't going to know who those people are. And without these systems, you're not going to know if your team, your commercial team, both the marketing team and the sales team, if they're engaging with your prospects effectively. So these commercial systems are absolutely critical. HubSpot and Zoho One work really well with WordPress, which is the website platform that I prefer, though there's lots of them now. But WordPress is well regarded. It's got lots of support. It is the most popular website platform available. So you're capturing leads. You now have a sales team in place that's handling those leads, taking them through a sales process. And all of this is creating data. And you want metrics to be able to measure your business by, and you want to be able to make changes in real time as you incorporate this data into your daily processes. And Power BI is a great way to visualize the data coming into your CRM. So that's my dashboarding platform that I prefer. You can get those dashboards in real time. That means that on an hourly basis, or a couple of times a day or daily, you can see where your pipeline is and what solutions, what salespeople, what marketing messages are being successful, and you can double down on those just so you have this continuous loop of improvement. So HubSpot, WordPress, Power BI, really powerful combination for commercial systems. Aren't much without the processes that go into them. If you have a sales team or a marketing team that is not doing things consistently, you will find that those metrics that are coming out of your systems are useless. You can't make decisions. You can't make modifications. So it's really important that you have established consistent commercial processes and that everybody is using them exactly the same way in exactly the same series, the same steps, so that you can have some predictability. So if you do that, you're going to have transparency in your pipeline. That Power BI dashboard that you look at several times a day is going to be meaningful. You'll be able to comfortably make future-looking business decisions, know where to invest your time, energy, and resources for the company. Some critical points in your sales process: there must be a specific and clean handoff between marketing and sales. So an unknown prospect comes to your website. They engage with your content. That flags marketing that's a reasonable prospect that they want to spend time with. They nurture that prospect for a period of time until they reach a certain threshold. And once that threshold is met, that's called a marketing qualified lead. At that point, the marketing qualified lead gets handed from marketing to sales, and the salesperson will then, for the first time, personally engage with that prospect and vet that prospect, begin the qualification process. And if they believe that it is in fact a quality candidate, then that will become a sales qualified lead and begin to go through the sales process, which should be a multi-step sales process with sales stages. Those sales stages should have gates, specific qualifying questions for each sales stage, and a specific gate that gets crossed between one sales stage to the next. And finally, each sales stage should be probability weighted. So someone that's early in the process should have a low probability of closing. Those that are late in the process should have a high probability of closing. This allows you to begin to look at your pipeline on a weighted basis, and really allows you to refine your business decision making. As the pipeline matures towards the latter stages, contract negotiations and closing, you'll be able to have much more confidence in those deals closing than the ones that are early in the process and have a low probability. Any sales team should be able to follow a scripted sales process with scripted qualifying questions. However, sales teams that are not quality, that don't have the customer's best interest in mind, that don't have the characteristics of what I would think of as a good sales team, that is salespeople that care about the success of their prospects, that aren't internally focused but externally focused, will be the best. They must be curious so that they ask good, probing, qualifying questions. You'll provide them a list of qualifying questions, but that's just scratching the surface. You want to hire for a profile people that are genuinely curious about the impact of business decisions that are being made. Why did a prospect make a certain business decision? What would happen if they made a different business decision? Would it be positive or negative for them? How would that impact that prospect personally, and how would it impact the company? So profile curious salespeople. And then once these curious and caring salespeople gather all the information, you want somebody that is creative enough that they can put all of that information together and look at their broad network of contacts and your specific solutions and put together a creative, solution-oriented proposal to their prospect. It may initially not be a straightforward, solution A or solution B that comes straight off your price list, but it might be a combination of things that are laid out over a period of time that ultimately is in the customer's best interest. And if your salesperson's looking out for your customer's best interest, that's going to garner customers that come back, that your business becomes the problem solver for those customers. You're going to start to get references and referrals and people out spreading your message so that you don't have to spend as much on marketing. It's far more cost effective to have someone else talking about your brand than you trying to break through and talk about your brand. Finally, you want a salesperson that is confident. So they've come up with this really creative solution. They need to be able to strongly advocate that at the highest levels of your prospect's company. So you need someone that can carry themselves and is confident enough to do that. If you do all this, you can hopefully get it all done, all of these steps, within 90 days. Look, momentum and time is of the essence when it comes to the commercial side of businesses. You can't do this halfway. You have to have focus and intent. And if you do, hopefully you'll be able to accomplish all this in 90 days and either restart or scale your business from the beginning. I've done this a number of times. I have lots of experience with it, and this process has not ever failed to perform well. I truly hope you found this information useful and interesting. It's really scratching the surface. There is a lot more behind this, and I just wanted to keep this relatively brief for you and get you pointed in the right direction. If you'd like more detail, feel free to reach out. You can reach me on my phone number, 425-200-4533, or tim@timritchie.com. Thanks for taking a look. And again, I hope it was helpful.